How do you apply for the National Interest Waiver to start your consulting company? This client, who works as an engineer for big companies, wanted to apply for the National Interest Waiver. We helped them prepare the business plan, we helped them prepare the application, we filed it without a request for evidence, it got approved. So I want to walk you through step by step everything that we did. We're going to show you our checklist so you could see how somebody can apply NIW by creating their own consulting company. Let's go. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem is that this family wanted to come and immigrate to the US. But one of the most challenging things is, what are you going to do in the US, right? You're a great engineer in China on automation, but what are you going to do in the US, right? You need to create this national interest waiver packet to prove a couple things. Prong number one, the foreigner national proposed endeavor has both substantial merit and national importance. Prong number two, foreign national is well positioned to advance said proposed endeavor. And then prong three, which is sort of the catch-all for USCIS to deny anybody that they don't like. On balance, it would be beneficial to the United States to waive the requirements of a job offer and labor certification, basically skipping the Department of Labor process based on their own merit, based on how strong this person's resume, and based on what they intend to do, and it is of national importance, and they are well positioned that they should get this green card. That is what a national interest waiver is. Their specific case is hard because normally when you work as an engineer, you're working with thousands of other people to create one product. Naturally, the question is, if you are given this opportunity, you're given this green card, you're able to come to the US, what can you do on your own? So in the cover letter, we introduce who he is, and we immediately introduce all the memos that are relevant. All the new USCIS memos, the Biden administration, the executive orders, anything that relates to his field of endeavor and what he's planning to do. This is the future of the country, and so we need people who are like that. Then we go on to his immediate background before talking about what he's planning on doing. That's because for this case, that was the weaker part. His strong part is his resume. His weaker part is actually what he's planning on doing. So right after the memo, we immediately jump into his background. 16 years at some of the biggest companies in the world being an engineer. Then talking about all his breakthroughs at what he did during the 16 years. Record-breaking inventions that he was able to push through. And then how the different awards that he got during the time that he worked there, the impact that he had on other industries. He didn't just make contribution in the automation area. He made breakthroughs in all these other areas as well. And so therefore, when he comes to the US, he is going to make that contribution. We want to hint at that, right? Because again, the weaker part is he's starting a consulting company. Who is he going to consult? He doesn't have a single client, right? You have people that might hire him, but we're talking about half a decade later, right? Because there's a priority date, he has to get this approved, he has to wait, and then he has to go to the embassy. There's a lot of things that can be changed. So nobody's going to sign a retainer, and nobody's going to put a deposit for his services now before he even gets a green card. But that is his plan, that is his endeavor, right? And so that is the first page, explaining his background, explaining the state of the union and why he needs to be here. Then we go into the legal framework. 5.5 pages talking about what he's going to do in the US and why it's of national importance. We quoted a lot from his letter Rex. We talked about what he's going to do and why it's important. He's starting his own business. We have his entire business plan here that we referenced very often. It is in total also about 16, 17 pages with financial projections, who he's going to hire, how he's going to make things better. Now, I know a lot of people shy away from doing a business plan. It's like, there's no reason to do a business plan. We don't even recommend it because it's so far away. That's what business plans are. So many angel investors, everybody will tell you, you need to do a business plan to show that you've thought this through. But if you're actually going by it, you'll probably fail, right? Because things come up every single day and life changes and industries change. And if you are sticking to the plan and not changing and adapting, you're going to fail. but it's important to do it. So we take on that belief. We believe it's important to do it, but it's not the most critical thing. So he's starting a consulting company. We showed that other people will need him, people will hire him, and how he made an impact. We spent 5 pages basically going in detail from all what the government initiatives are and how that relates to him. We went through a lot of news, we read through a lot of memos, and we cited all the things that are relevant to him. If he is able to start this consulting business and he's able to help so many big businesses to smaller businesses, it will be tremendously beneficial. We didn't actually have any signed contracts. It's just a purely research what the US needs, what he has, put it together with a business plan. That's really it. We thought this was going to be heavily challenged, but without a request for evidence, got approved. The second and the third part was far easier. Now, the second part was he's well positioned because of his 16 years experience, because he graduates from some of the finest universities and the breakthroughs and the letter of recs that he got. We said he's well positioned, right? He's not starting a bakery, right? He's not well positioned to solve the gluten-free crisis in the United States, but he's well positioned to solve the engineering crisis of automation. We don't have enough STEM researchers in the US to deal with this, but he has that experience. And then the third, on balance, it will benefit the US. Yes, we made the economic argument. If he's able to come, if he's able to launch, look at what Tesla is doing in the United States. Look what a lot of industries are doing to the United States. It's going to transform. It's a nice next industrial revolution. And then the case got approved. Let me share with you the exhibits so you can kind of see even in more detail. The first 12 exhibits are all about his personal background. His diplomas, his transcripts, his offer letters, the companies that he's worked at, the promotions, the certifications, the project reports that he was able to do, any media publications about him, who he is, and his business plan. Then, 3 letter recommendations. Really, really good, finely crafted letter recommendations from industry experts. I know a lot of times people say, oh, you need 7, you need 2. We've gotten cases approved without any letter of recs, and we've seen denials when there's like 15 letter recs. Again, it's not purely about the quantity, it's about the quality. So I remember spending like months working with him and these recommenders, seeing exactly what to write in these letter recs. We just got 3, and again, it was enough for this case. Then, after 15 exhibits, from 15 to 23 are all memos and things that we found. We found way more than, 8 that we submitted? All the different news articles out there that's about his industry, about this field, and we selected the best 8, highlighted them, and included them making the argument. And then after that, there's just his personal recommendation. So you might look, oh, it's just like 20-some documents. It took us probably close to a year to prepare and fashion everything together, to come up with a business plan, to find the exact memos that qualified. We might have overkilled this case. We might have. I don't know. Because again, we didn't get a request for evidence. We were prepared for one. We even prepared a request for evidence checklist right after we submitted it. We spent easily over a year preparing this case with just 25 exhibits and the arguments that we made. But eventually we got everything together, we filed it, the case is approved. I just want to show you that it is possible. Don't give up. It's hard, but you can find the argument if you try. If you have any questions about NIW, about EB-1A, about upgrades, about downgrades, about priority dates, feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you about it. Take care. Bye-bye.